Shall we start now?
Yes. Thank you, Liam and Wang, for joining with us and every participant. Today, good morning from Limerick. It's 9 a.m., right?
Yeah, 9 a.m.
You work from home or at campus?
I'm in my home office.
Your home office? Okay. Today, we would like to present about the University of Limerick and sharing experience with the current student. I will share my slide screen first. Just one moment. Where am I? Yeah. The first, I would like to have maybe 5 or 6 slides to talk about a little bit about White Island, and after that, Liam will sharing about the University of Limerick and some information related to the COVID and the support the university support the current student. And last but not least, the very important of this talking today is sharing one experience about how Limerick, how this university, how he missed the university, and his plan to come back Ireland and come back, right, for looking for a job, right?
Yeah.
The first thing, and Liam, I will present in English, so you are in English, but the sharing, I would like to do it in Vietnamese. Is it okay
That's
for
fine.
you?
Absolutely, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem.
I make sure everything we talk is good about you. This my experience when I do the consult for the student why you need to study in Ireland. At least we have 7 reasons. The first one is Ireland is ranking proud the safety country according to Global Peace Index 2015. The second one, you can see that Ireland in the heart, not in Europe, and this is located up many multinational companies like Google, Facebook, or classmates like Apple, etc. And you only take 2 hours to the main Europe, but I'm not sure how many hours you need to guarantee in the COVID. At this time, have we, Lion? At this time, can we fly to Europe?
Yes, yeah. So the flights are open, but anyone returning to Ireland will have to do a 2-week quarantine. So you can travel, but you have to quarantine on arrival in Ireland.
Okay, so it takes hours like from Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. The second one is the fourth one is for the bachelor student. You will have 1 year working in Ireland after you finish, or 2 years when you have the master degree. 2 years, huh? Well,
yeah.
Good luck. In Ireland, we have the fifth reason. In Ireland, we have more than 5,000 programs recognized by all universities all over the world. And Ireland is the most friendly countries. It was ranking number 4 according to the Impact Insider in 2015, and I believe it more than that after the COVID. And the last but not least, after Brexit, Ireland is the one speaking country in the Eurozone, so it means that you can have a talk with any Irishman. Talking a little bit about the master, the entry requirements for it look like all the university in US or Australia, you need to have the IELTS 6.5 and no band under 6.0, but for some especially program you need more IELTS.
It looks like an invisible.
Yeah, while you're visible, where you distract me. Especially for this time, all university in Ireland accept Duolingo. I will send you the link after this talk. You can apply to do the test at home with the fee just around $55, and after 3 or 5 working days you have the result and you can quickly apply for this academic year. Especially as I know, until this time only Ireland open gates for international students. You cannot travel to US, especially New Zealand, Australia, or the island. So you can quickly apply and start your work, your course in October this year. About the GPA, yes, at least you have the GPA 7, or if you have a little bit lower, 6.5, you will need some 3 or 6 months study in foundation of recourse. How about the fee? You will have affordable fee for 1 master year. You can see one program is cost 280 triệu đi ha. You can see. I got a problem with the number. So in the total, you only need 400 Việt Nam đồng to capital to invest in your 1 year, including tuition fee and living costs. Compared to the other country, you can see on my slide. For example, UK 350 triệu, Australia the same, but you need 2 years to finish your master in Australia, and the same with US, you only need you need 2 years. So compared to 4 countries in slide, Ireland is good investment, time, and the value of the degree. So it means when your friend study master in US, you already be a master degree after 1 year, and you have the advantage on them. Let's talk about a little bit about the return of investment. What I mentioned is mean that with 400 Việt Nam đồng, after study you will earn more. For example, you can see Ireland have a lot of job opportunity, because why? You can see 30 million have so sorry, I forgot, a diabetic degree based on the equipment which made in Ireland. So you can, if you study medicine, it's a huge opportunity to work for the big glass midline or the big pharmacy. Or Ireland provide 50% of formula milk, or 135% of produced in Ireland. It's in Vietnamese. Sorry, I didn't know the name.
Then contact lens.
Contact lens, yeah, contact lens produced in Ireland, not China. And you can see there are a lot of multinational companies have headquarters in Ireland, like Google, Payo, Facebook, Yahoo. Yeah, long time ago, I guess, but still have Twitter, LinkedIn, eBay, Amazon, Dropbox. It requires a lot of high quality employees to apply. Unilink survey. After you have this, after you have decision to apply, Unilink will assist you in the apply to the university. Mock-in interview for those university require interview for the master degree, assist you on the visa application, and after visa, how to get to take the IRB, or how to enter, how to volunteer in Ireland. And after sale, for example, we have a strong connection with our students, yes, and support them even though they finish the university. This is my presentation. Now I would like to introduce Liam. Liam, this is your slide. One moment.
I'll actually share my screen. I have kind of changed my slides slightly, so I'll share my screen if that's okay, Thời.
Okay. You said.
Can you make me? Okay, I hope you can see that. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your time and attention this Saturday afternoon. So I want to speak to you a little bit about the University of Limerick, what we call the UL journey. So Quang has taken this journey, so he's at step 3 or 4 of the process. but I'll talk you through what lies ahead of you if you do decide to come to Limerick. So I'm going to start at the end, unusually. So put yourself forward a year, or if you're doing a bachelor's degree, put yourself forward 4 years. You've just completed your program. You're starting your first day of work in your dream job. Okay, so how do you get to that stage, or what's the process to get there? And this is actually one of our students who is a year ahead of the journey from Quang. So Lang Do Tang, he just started work in a big tech company in Dublin. So he's a year ahead of you, Quang, but in the process as well. Okay, so step one in the process is where you are right now. So it's all about exploring. It's about finding out about the different universities that you have to study in. So you can, as Toy mentioned, you can study in Australia, UK, USA, but I think Ireland, as discussed, is a very, very good destination for Vietnamese students. It's affordable. It's very, very high quality. It gives you an opportunity to work after you graduate as well. So step one is exploring, and that's the step you're at right now. And then if you take the decision to come to Ireland, you will obviously journey to Ireland and come into the support structure here in UL. The next step is the student life in the university, and we pride ourselves on incorporating practical teaching and internships into all of our programs. So every student that does a bachelor's degree does a compulsory 8-month placement in a company that's related to their field of study. And our master's programs will all include some sort of company-facing experience or internships, which I'm sure Quang will mention and go through in a little bit more detail, his specific experience. So the next part, and this is very, very important, is the UL student life. So we are very, very invested, and we believe firmly in the balance of work and also living. So whether you're interested in sport, whether you're interested in music, in drama, in computer games, whatever your passion is, we have a number of clubs and societies that are available for students to join, to become a member of, to lead, and we call that finding your wolf pack. So our clubs and societies are called UL Wolves, and you will find your kind of group of friends within that, and it does give you a real good kind of community in the university as well. And I'm sure that's something that every student does want to find. You know, you're nervous about traveling around the world. You do want to find some people with common interests and things like that as well. And lastly, this is your new home. So this is the University of Limerick campus. It's an award-winning, it's the best student campus in my opinion in the world, but it is award-winning as the best student campus in Ireland. It's a safe haven. It's a very beautiful, calm, it's like an oasis in the city. It's on the in the suburbs of Limerick City, but it's a large parkland campus, and it has every facility that you would need. It has it within the campus. I'll talk a little bit about the safety, whether in relation to standard kind of safety, but also around COVID-19. I'll talk about some of the measures we're taking to ensure our students are safe as well. So the next step in your journey is graduation day, and we're getting close to that for Quang.
Yeah.
But the graduation day obviously is a very, very proud day for you, for your family, for your friends and things like that. We do a huge amount of work to support our students to get to graduation day. So we have things like our English Language Learning Centre for students who are studying technology programs. We have maths and computer science language learning centres. Our faculty are very, very passionate about student support and will provide current situation. And it's about being kind of as responsive to our students' needs as we possibly can, and also ensuring that our international students have extra support with the international division being available to answer queries. So graduation day is finished, and then first day of work obviously is very, very important. And UL does a huge amount of work to assist students to get jobs. And this is something that we pride ourselves on. The student experience while on campus and the graduate employability are the two things that we focus on in particular. I'll talk a little bit on a later slide about the career services that we offer. But it sounds like an impossible dream. It sounds very, very difficult, and it's something that you think maybe is impossible. It sounds like climbing Mount Everest. A wise man once said to me, if you want somebody to teach you to climb Mount Everest, you would expect them to have climbed the mountain yourself. And the good news for you guys is I've climbed the mountain of getting through UL, getting into a career after I finished. So I studied politics and international relations in the university, class of 2006. I did my internship, so my compulsory internship in the Irish Department of Foreign Affairs, so working with Irish Aid. I found my own personal wolf pack playing American football for UL, but I have friends who got into drama, debating, music, everything kind of catered for. I worked in one of my kind of dream jobs in international recruitment for the NHS in the UK for 10 years. And then after Brexit, I came home and I'm now working in my dream job in international division here in UL. So it's very applicable to my bachelor's degree. I did go through kind of the UL career service in order to get my first couple of jobs. And we have lots of international students that have taken this journey as well. So as I mentioned, Long is working in a tech company in Dublin on a fantastic salary and is looking towards PR in the next couple of years. And we have, as I said, with lots of international students that have gone through that process. Just to reassure you, classes at UL are not as difficult as climbing Mount Everest, although I may be contradicted after this slide. So what makes UL distinctive? So what's the kind of why pick here and not another university? We pride ourselves on giving students amazing experiences and setting them up for future success. So as I mentioned, we have the largest internship program in Europe. So that is work experience for all students before they graduate. In 2019, there's an international student survey and it rated UL #1 in the world for international student experience. And that's a testament to the level of support, integration, and the community here in the university. We are reasonably affordable, in terms of competing with the UK, Australia, and USA. About 310 million VND per year, which is quite affordable in terms of costings. Rankings, so we're ranked in the top 100 young universities in the world and number 501 globally by Times Higher Education. And then, as I mentioned, number 3 in Europe for career preparation, which is another passion and focus of the university. So I'll just give you some general information. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Ireland, so we're the nearest neighbour to the UK. So we're about an hour by plane from London. And then Limerick is on the west coast of Ireland. So Limerick is the 3rd largest city in Ireland. Dublin, Cork, Limerick, and Galway are the 4 main cities in Ireland. UL then is in Limerick City and has 16,000 students and over 3,000 international students per year from 100 countries. We are a comprehensive university. So we have 4 large faculties, science and engineering, education, health science, arts, humanities, and social science, and business. So Quang, I know, is studying in the School of Modern Languages and Applied Linguistics, and he'll talk a little bit specifically about that school. But each of these 19 schools offer bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs across a wide variety of programs. Our most popular courses would be probably in computer science and information systems, and in our business school. They would be kind of the most common programs that international students would apply for, but we do offer places to international students across all 4 faculties and all 19 schools. So one of the big things that we do for developing kind of linkages and partnerships is we have very strong industry collaborations. So we have over 2,000 industry partners where we have placements, we have internships, we have research partnerships. Some of those companies are on the right-hand side here, so they will be quite recognizable. One of the things I wanted to speak about is the role of Ireland and Irish industries in the fight versus COVID. So we are very, very lucky and fortunate to have a strong research and development hub for pharmaceuticals, for medical devices, and also for computer science. And the 3 of those areas are the ones that are most important in the kind of current situation. So for example, about 70% of the world's ventilators, which are kind of breathing assistance, are manufactured in Ireland. Gilead, which is the company here at the center, has been the first company to have an approved kind of treatment for COVID-19. So it reduces symptoms, and it has been proven to kind of treat the symptoms of COVID-19. They're based here, so they have a base in Cork and a base in Dublin, and a number of companies are working on research for vaccines. So Regeneron, Johnson & Johnson, and a couple of others all have their bases here in Ireland. As a result, what we've seen is the Irish economy and jobs in these companies have actually continued to grow. So while a lot of global economies are shrinking, the Irish economy is still quite good in terms of job opportunities for students post-graduation. So the OECD, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, has identified the Irish economy as the least impacted globally by the coronavirus pandemic. So that is particularly important for students who want to study here and want to use their post-study work visa to work in Ireland after they finish. So that is that's very, very important, and it does kind of allow for students to have some kind of confidence in the post-work opportunities that are available here in Ireland. So I'm just going to do a little exercise. So there is a button which you can react to. You can react. So basically, you can put like a thumbs up in Zoom. So if you would like to work in any of these companies, or if you've ever heard of any of these companies, I'd like to see a thumbs up if possible. So these are companies that all have their European headquarters in Ireland and have a huge kind of job workforce here in Ireland. So just a quick exercise, if you've heard of one of these companies or if you'd like to work in them. So Google, Microsoft, Twitter, Regeneron, Huawei, Gilead. So let's see how many thumbs up we get. I'm just testing if you're awake or listening, to be honest. Okay, so there's 1 or 2 there. Okay, so that is just useful to see what type of companies that are based here. Just to give you an idea of the industry clusters, the 9 of the top 10 global tech companies are based in Ireland, 8 of the top 10 gaming companies, 8 of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies, 15 of the top 20 medical device companies, and 50% of the world's leading financial services firms all have their European headquarters based here in Ireland. So those are some of the kind of hot jobs or very, very kind of popular job areas that are here. There is obviously positions available in other areas, but these are kind of the most in demand. To give you an idea of where the jobs are based, so a lot of companies have their base in Dublin, which is known as the Silicon Valley of Europe. Dublin is about 2 hours from Limerick, and a lot of our graduates will get jobs based in Dublin after they graduate. However, we do also have quite a large bunch of industry clusters in Limerick, in Cork, in Galway, all around the country. So students can, when they graduate, can work anywhere in Ireland. It doesn't have to be Dublin. If you prefer a smaller city, you can do that as well. Average salaries then, just to give you an idea of what you can expect. So the average bachelor's degree graduate salary in Ireland is about €30,000. The average UL graduate salary is about €35,000. And then for medtech, finance, computer science, it's about between 30 and 32,000 euro for a bachelor degree graduate. You can expect a slightly higher salary if you have a master's program as well. So I'm nearly finished. So I'll just finish up quite quickly. Just some of the services that the UL Careers Division offer. So we do offer assistance during studies and after graduation. We have a very strong team that offer one-to-one counselling sessions. So that will provide kind of guidance and assistance on job market analysis, CV preparation, interview workshops. We have on-campus company open days. So large companies will come in and do a workshop on the campus. We have the largest careers fair in Ireland, happens on campus each year. As I mentioned already, there is internships and company-facing projects. And then we have a large alumni and partnership network that will allow you to leverage access into companies that we have partnerships in. And then, as we mentioned, there is stay-back visas in Ireland for up to 2 years. And students can, if they wish, they can start to apply for pathways into PR, so permanent residency. So you can apply for a 3-year visa after your stay-back visa. And once you're working in Ireland for 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency at that stage. Lastly, I just want to talk very quickly about our COVID response. So the campus will reopen on the 28th of September. Students will be able to arrive from the 12th and 13th of September. There is a 2-week self-quarantine on campus, so that will happen in our university dorms. The cost of that is covered by the university. And then the teaching will be as normal as possible, but however, large classes will be delivered online to allow for social distancing, and smaller classes, so things like laboratories, tutorials, and group project work will take place on campus as normal. Obviously, lecturers and faculty will still have office hours and will be able to speak to them face to face during your time here. There is an option for online starts, so we are facilitating students to start a little bit later than the end of September. You can do the entire first semester online if you wish, and then travel once you feel safe to do so. And ensuring safety and kind of making sure students and staff safety is our big priority. Just to touch on Ireland, so I know Vietnam has been fantastic and very, very successful in their kind of prevention and reduction of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ireland has had a very strong and safe response also. We are lucky that we are an island country. We only have around 400 active cases here at the moment, so very, very low numbers of cases. All of those are tested, traced, contact tracing, and for current life at the moment is people are working from home, still working remotely. People are wearing masks indoors or on public transport, and there's still very strong social distancing rules in place, so 2-meter social distancing rules. So when students arrive, you'll do 2 weeks self-isolation. There's also a tracking app, so you'll have your location and Bluetooth on, and that will be tracked by the health service as well, so to make sure that quarantine is adhered to. So that is me. So just to summarize, you at UL expect amazing experiences and future success. We do try and really set you up for future careers, and I'm looking forward to hearing about a first-hand experience about living and studying in UL. So over to you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, William.
Great information. I would like to hear the sharing from your current student, Quang. And can you share me your student life in UL?
Yes, absolutely. So the student life in UL is pretty great for me. It's a very great opportunity for me to live on campus accommodations. And I would say that the campus in UL is one of the best places I have ever imagined and experienced during my stay in my study abroad journey. So the campus in UL is quite green. You have a lot of green forests, green fields, and it's very tranquil and peaceful. So if you're looking for an escape from the hustling, bustling city like Ho Chi Minh City, so the campus of UL is really a great choice. And also, it's really convenient for you to make friends with other people as well, especially international students. And I say that from the campus of UL to the city, Limerick City, is also quite near. It takes around, I would say, 25 minutes by bus. So you could have a trip there anytime you want, and it's not that expensive as well. So normally I would go to the campus, I would go from the campus to the city on a weekend just to buy grocery, food and store. And one thing that is really surprising for me is that the food in Limerick is really, really cheap, especially for the beef. If you really like beef and chicken, it's really cheap, even cheaper than in Vietnam. And yeah, so that's about my life in UL. And yeah, basically that's it. If I say it all, you will lose yours. You need to experience it by yourself.
Okay. As a Vietnamese student, did you have any difficulty with the accent or societal and make friends with Irish or?
Yeah, so basically I'd say that it depends on the region that you are studying in. But in Limerick, the accent is not as thick, and it's not that easy the first time when you listen to it, but then you'll get used to it and you find amusing. And yeah, on myself, I feel like that I have adopted some Irish accent in my English speaking. And also, I think that the citizen of Limerick, in specific, and also Irish people, are really friendly, really amiable, and they welcome you with a whole heart, and you don't feel any kind of discrimination or anything like that. And whenever you go outside and you meet some people, or in any kind of situation, you just wave, say hello to them, they hello you back, and start conversations. Really, really natural.
Okay, how you adapt with learning environment, study with other students, and support from coordinator or lecturer, something?
Okay, so I would say that my class in the MA of Applied Linguistics is really small. We only have 12 students. And from various countries, from Norway, from Italy, from China. So we have a lot of students. So you get to know each other very well, and you can communicate with your lecturers or your course director, like really in a personal way. You can set up meeting with them if you have something that you don't understand, or if you have something that you would like to ask for your future career or future studying. You can always ask with them. And I say that they are really open and supportive. So you don't have anything to shine about that. And also that because the lecture is usually about 2 hours a day, so I would say that students in Vietnam need to adapt with the environment about reading. So we have a lot of reading, especially in my School of Applied Linguistics. So you need to do a lot of reading, go to the library. So basically you do everything on your own, and the teachers are just there to support you.
So Liam, I had a question. How you support international students in terms of language? For the student like Quang, he can quickly adapt to study environment. But how about the other one who have to study English first?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we have on campus in the university, we have a language center. It's actually staffed by faculty of the School of English, and they have a number of different types of programs and courses available. So they offer a year-round general English program where students can join, can improve their English, and finish with a kind of a certificate. But we also developed a program specifically for students who are planning to come to UL for bachelor's or for master's studies. And it's basically a pre-sessional English course. So they would start the program a number of weeks before the master's or bachelor's would commence. They do an intensive English language training course first. And then once they finish that, they then start the bachelor's or master's program once they complete that. They don't need to retest an IELTS or anything like that. So it's certified by the university. They just finish the course basically they finish the course on a Friday and they start the master's on a Monday. But it's taught by our faculty. It's very kind of aimed at the academic English. You can adjust to the Limerick accent, the strong Limerick accent that I have, but also you're based on campus, so you can access the library, you can access all of the facilities on campus as well. So it takes a little bit of the uncertainty and the stress of the first couple of weeks out of the process by allowing you to kind of familiarize yourself with the campus during your English course and then start your master's after that.
Oh, right. I know UL is the best university for support students to find a job. Ireland is famous for the IT and finance program. However, what do you think was a popular job after COVID-19?
Yeah, so I kind of touched on it a little bit in my presentation, but the kind of the most popular types of jobs at the moment after COVID-19 will likely be things like computer science. So we're using Zoom now. Everyone's working virtually. Microsoft is hiring staff. Google is hiring staff. So computer science will be very, very important. We're also looking at things like biomedical device, some medical device materials and manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and research and development are very, very important as well. But to be honest, I think we've seen a lot of companies have reacted and have changed their business model, but are still there's still teaching happening. There's still people kind of trying to adjust to normal life. So I think it's not going to be just those companies hiring, that not everyone is going to, be able to go into a medical device company or a pharmaceutical company. There is job opportunities across multiple sectors here in Ireland. But they would probably be the most kind of popular or hot jobs at the moment. So medical devices, pharmaceuticals, and computer science.
Oh, so then we have continue with the sharing from Quang info of your course.
Yeah, so I have some information about some courses in my school of Modern of Languages and Applied Linguistics. So first, for those who want to specialize in languages or linguistic or teaching English, so you could choose some courses from my school. So the first one would be the MA of Applied Linguistics. So we study a variety of modules and subjects within the field. So basically is to look in how language is used in our everyday life. And also we look at how we can shape languages through our ideas and how you acquire languages. So that's basically about Master of Applied Linguistics. We also focus on translation and interpretation as well, if you want to look at that. But it's a bit difficult for Vietnamese students to do that. Basically because you need to know another language other than just English. And we also have the Master of TESOL, which is really impressive, based on my opinion, because it not only concentrating on teaching knowledge, but it's also provide a teaching practice module, which you can really teach at the University of Limerick. So that's a really great chance for you to put it in your CV that you have already got a 1-year experience in teaching at a really high university such as at Limerick. So it's a great thing to prove to the employer that, yeah, you have that theories, you have that practical skill to be a good teacher. And after that, I think we also have the Master of English, which really focus on literature review, basically literature and culture and ideologies. So if you're really into literature, poems, so you can go into the Master of English. Finally, I think that the Master of Technical Communication and e-learning. So as we all know, during this time, we need a lot of communication, basically through digital media. So the Master of Technical Communication and e-learning specialize on those subject and areas. So if you want to be got a future in your digital media with learning or education, it's a really good choice for you as well. Yeah.
He had a bit luck with University of Limerick. So we have our first question. Liam a person asks, how can he register for quarantine when he goes to Limerick?
Yeah, so the process kind of for arrival will be slightly different to usual years. So basically, if you're offered a place and you're planning to come to the university, we would basically get your flight details from you. So once you've got your visa and you've booked your flight details, we will arrange basically airport collection during the kind of the arrival period. Basically what will happen then is you will transfer from whichever airport, so either Dublin Airport or Shannon Airport, and then we have self-isolation, so quarantine facilities on campus. So the accommodation in the university is single bedroom, so you have your own private bedroom, private bathroom and private study area, and then we will arrange for food delivery to the room basically for that period. During the quarantine as well, we will do orientation events and things like that. We will actually do online. So we're going to have Zoom evenings. We'll have movie night. We'll have all different things. So there will be kind of entertainment on during that time as well. But basically, the university will arrange collection, bring you to your accommodation, and then provide food during that 2 weeks. And then there will be we have a medical center on campus that will kind of provide assistance to any students as well. So any kind of healthcare costs related to COVID-19 are fully covered by the government, and there's also kind of a COVID-19 payment that's provided to students who have been impacted as well. So there's quite a lot of support in place for students coming to Ireland.
Yes. So right, the student don't worry about that. And the second question, do you have the available schedule which program will be online and which program will be delivered on campus?
Yeah, so basically the model is that we will have basically a mixture. So all programs will be available either online or on campus in semester 1. So basically students will take, if they're on campus, students will take classes in person with the faculty, but those classes will also be live streamed on Zoom or on something similar. So students who are studying online will still participate in the on-campus classes, but they will do that virtually. So all of our programs for semester 1 are available both on campus or online. The deadline for kind of arriving is the end of January. So we do recommend students to arrive before the end of January into Ireland. And the reason for that is if you don't do semester 2 on campus, you don't get access to the stay back work visa. So we are recommending students to come in, I suppose the kind of the end of January really would be that deadline. If they want to continue online, they can do so, but they just won't get the stay back visa because their program will be fully online by that point. So every course is available either on campus or online, but the preference for us and for most of our students is for students to come on campus as soon as they can. You know, they get their visas, they feel it's safe to travel and things like that.
Thank you, Liam. One, you have a question?
Right. Let me have a look. Okay. So would you refer me to answer in English or in Vietnamese?
Either.
I think use English.
Okay. So I would say that if okay, they want me to answer in Vietnamese, so I'm going to answer in Vietnamese. Okay. Right. Thì nếu mà các bạn chọn học ở trên Dublin á, thì cũng không có vấn đề gì, nhưng mà nó sẽ bị một cái là các bạn sẽ phải đóng nhiều bạn sẽ mất nhiều cái chi phí hơn cho việc ăn ở. Tại vì thường ví dụ như mình sẽ nói là ở Limerick á, thì một tháng là sẽ tầm khoảng 400 tới 700 euro tiền nhà, cao lắm là khoảng 800, là nhà kiểu như là siêu cấp hiện đại mà siêu xa xỉ á, thì sẽ là cỡ 800 euro một tháng. Nhưng mà nếu mà các bạn lên Dublin á, thì tiền nhà 1.000 euro một tháng là chuyện bình thường, là 1.000 euro một tháng ha, là chuyện rất là bình thường, chưa kể là tới tiền ăn. Thì ở trên Dublin á, thì bạn sẽ đương nhiên là đối với tùy người ha, thì nếu mà người nào người ta thích nhộn nhịp hoặc là kiểu đông đúc này nọ, nhiều người á, mở rộng nhiều thứ hơn, thì các bạn có thể ở trên Dublin. Tại vì Dublin cơ bản là nó đông người hơn, nó đông đúc hơn, nó cũng vui hơn. Thì nếu như bạn không có muốn là phải mất công là sau khi học xong ở Limerick rồi là phải chuyển chỗ lên Dublin một lần nữa, thì các bạn học ở Dublin luôn. Nhưng mà nếu mà các bạn muốn tiết kiệm về mặt chi phí, tại vì các bạn học ở Limerick xong các bạn có thể lên Dublin làm được, thì các bạn sẽ chọn Limerick. Tại vì Limerick thì mọi thứ nó rẻ hơn rất là nhiều, và tiền ăn thì nó cũng rẻ hơn. Tại vì mình mua thì đó, một vỉ thịt gà là 10 cái đùi hay là 1 ký thì chỉ có 80.000 thôi. Rất là rẻ luôn. Tiền thịt bò cũng vậy, thịt bò hình như cũng trăm mấy một ký à, thành ra là cực kỳ rẻ. Mọi thứ rất là thoải mái ở Limerick, và các bạn sẽ thoải mái hơn về mặt tiền bạc. Còn nếu mà ở Dublin thì mình khuyên là các bạn nên cân nhắc là sẽ đi làm thêm để trang trải thêm, tại vì trên đó thì giá cả nó rất là mắc luôn. Đặc biệt là nếu mà các bạn không có đi làm full time á, thì cái việc mà trả tiền ở thì rất là cao, so với là ở với Limerick thì nó sẽ khỏe rất là nhiều.
Thì thật ra là mọi người cũng biết là cái chương trình thạc sĩ bên Ireland thì đa phần nó chỉ có 1 năm thôi, cho nên là đối với là những bạn nào mà muốn tập trung học điểm để không bị ảnh hưởng á, thì các bạn sẽ có thể là học ở Limerick. Tại vì ở đây thì chi phí nó không cao, tập trung học nhanh để ra đi làm. Còn trường hợp mấy bạn ở Dublin thì nếu như mà bị ảnh hưởng về cái vấn đề chi phí nhiều quá thì hoặc là các bạn phải chuẩn bị đủ tiền, chứ nếu mà đi làm thêm ở đó thì có khả năng là nó sẽ hơi ảnh hưởng đến cái việc học của mình một tí. Tại vì chương trình 1 năm thì nó tương đối nặng chứ nó không phải là nhẹ.
Và thường thì các nhà tuyển dụng đó, nếu mà người ta tuyển thì người ta cũng sẽ lựa thí sinh rất là kỹ, nên là ví dụ như các bạn học điểm thấp quá thì các bạn sẽ bị mất cơ hội nhiều hơn rất là nhiều so với những cái thí sinh khác. Tại người ta cũng sẽ đòi hỏi là nhìn vào bảng điểm hoặc là bạn tốt nghiệp loại gì chẳng hạn như vậy.
UL thì cũng giống như hồi nãy là có nói, thì mọi người cũng biết là UL thì hiện tại nó đang đứng top 1 ở Ireland về cái việc support cho sinh viên, từ cái việc orientation nè, học nè, rồi trong cái quá trình học rồi được hỗ trợ để thích nghi với cái môi trường bên Ireland, hoặc là thậm chí là sau này các bạn gần tốt nghiệp là những cái như là chuyển đổi visa này nọ hoặc là tìm việc làm, thì UL là hiện tại nó đứng về top 1 ở Ireland về support cho sinh viên. Và một cái nữa thì giống như mọi người cũng thấy về cái vấn đề mà phải cách ly này nọ đó, thì hiện tại trước mắt là UL có cái thông tin là họ sẽ hồi nãy đó là 2 tuần ký túc xá đúng không?
Đúng rồi, sẽ cách ly 2 tuần và
2 tuần ở ký túc xá.
Tất cả chi phí tiền ăn là được bao hết.
Đúng rồi, chi phí là được bên UL chi trả hết. Trong khi đó là hiện tại thì Unilink chưa có nhận được thông tin là những trường khác nó có offer về cái này. Cho nên là 2 tuần mà để mình không có nằm trong khu cách ly mà được nằm trong cái ký túc xá gọi là sang chảnh của UL thì thật ra là trường cũng rất là chịu chi cho học sinh đó.
Có bạn hỏi là việc di chuyển giữa Limerick và Dublin có thuận tiện không? Thì rất là thuận tiện nha bạn, tại vì mình có đi xe buýt gọi nó nói thành ngữ giống của Việt Nam là xe buýt liên tỉnh ha. Thì xe buýt liên tỉnh là thường là khoảng 10 euro là 270.000, thì các bạn sẽ đi khoảng 2 tiếng rưỡi là sẽ từ Limerick lên Dublin, thì khá là nhanh. Tại vì mình so sánh là ví dụ từ đây mà các bạn đi từ thành phố Hồ Chí Minh và tới Phan Thiết thì chắc phải mất hơn nửa ngày. Đúng rồi đó. Còn ở bên đó thì mình chỉ đi 2 tiếng rưỡi thôi mình đã tới nơi rồi. Ví dụ bạn đi vào sáng thứ Bảy đi đúng không, thì chưa chưa tới trưa nữa thì bạn đã tới đây rồi, xong các bạn chơi thỏa thích nguyên ngày, có thể ở lại một đêm cũng được, xong chủ nhật về vẫn ổn, không có gì hết.
Okay, come back with Liam.
Can I, if I might just answer that in English as well, just from my own perspective, just around the Limerick versus Dublin discussion. So, and I'm not sure what you said, but it might match. So Limerick, I suppose Limerick and Dublin, because Ireland is very small, Limerick and Dublin are about 2 hours apart by bus or by car. So what a lot of our students will do is they will study in Limerick. It's much lower cost. It's a bit more accessible. There's kind of a friendlier scenario and more supportive environment in Limerick. And then depending on the area that they want to work in, they can apply for jobs in Dublin after they graduate. So Dublin is a bigger city. There's more to do. You know, I travel to Dublin at weekends for concerts and events and things like that. But there is advantages of studying in Limerick, and then you can apply anywhere in Ireland to work. There is obviously more kind of larger companies have their bases in Dublin, but there's no disadvantage of studying in Limerick versus studying in Dublin in terms of getting a job afterwards. You know, UL and UCD and Trinity are all kind of viewed the same in terms of the quality of education and things like that. So you don't need to study in Dublin to get a job in Dublin would be one of the things I would mention. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so I saw from Dooley, are there many marketing jobs in Ireland? I saw all big companies are located in Dublin. So yes, there is, and there's quite a number of marketing roles. So the big kind of social media companies obviously would be one of the big areas. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google would be kind of the blue chip companies. They have large bases in Dublin. We have an MA in marketing in our business school, and a lot of our graduates would actually go into to work in those companies after they finish. But obviously marketing it has an advantage in that pretty much every company has to market themselves to be able to sell their product. So it's not just in those kind of Facebooks and Googles that there is marketing jobs. You know, big you know, aviation companies, automotive companies, all these type companies will have a marketing division and will hire graduates in marketing as well. So don't feel like you have to kind of go into a social media company. You can apply in any area in marketing.
So thank you, Liam. And
Finance.
yeah, finance.
Yeah.
Oh yes, finance job in. So as I mentioned, about 50% of the world's leading financial services companies have their bases in Ireland, European base in Ireland. In Limerick, we have Ernst & Young, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers. Northern Trust is a large financial services hub that it has a big office of kind of, I think, about 2,500 staff in Limerick. And then Dublin would have large financial services centres as well. It's seen as a kind of a hub for fintech research as well. So a lot of the kind of new practices in fintech are coming out of Ireland from some of the research institutes, but also company innovations as well. So finance would be a big area. Citibank, you know, Deutsche Bank would all have large European headquarters based here in Ireland. There's the International Financial Services Centre in Dublin, and that has seen a huge growth in reserves being transferred from the city in London to the IFSC in Dublin as a result of Brexit. So we've seen billions of pounds basically being exchanged from the London centre to the Dublin centre to keep access into the European and Eurozone market. So that has been an interesting trend for us, but it has meant a growth in job opportunities in finance as well.
Okay. We have a question. The student asked if he can't travel to Ireland because of COVID-19, can he still study online in Vietnam?
Yes, yeah. So you can study basically the full program online if you prefer. So for all of semester 1 will be available online. Semester 2 will be available online, but as I mentioned, the only drawback with that is that you won't be able to access the stay back visa if you do the full program online. So yes, it is available. Semester 1 is available, and then ideally you would transfer to Limerick in semester 2 in January and do the rest of the program here in Ireland, and then access the stay back visa in that manner. But the option is there for students to do the full program online if they prefer.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course.
So just a little bit about the accommodations. I would say that normally it would be around 400 euros to 700 euros, including on-campus accommodation. But there's also other really cheap options for you, because one of my friends got a room for about 200 euros a month. That's really cheap.
Yeah, and I think in that's one of the other kind of advantages of Limerick over Dublin is availability of accommodation and also cost. So the cost of living per year in Dublin is about 14,000, 12 to 14,000, whereas in Limerick it's about 6,000 to 7,000 depending on where you're living. Off-campus accommodation is slightly cheaper.
Yeah.
But I definitely think the quality of UL's on-campus accommodation, it kind of justifies the cost a little bit. It's very convenient, you know, all the facilities are looked after. We obviously have the kind of the self-isolation stuff and extra security on campus because of that. So if you can afford it, I think the on-campus option is the best, but there is definitely cheaper options there for students who are on a budget as well.
Yeah.
So
So we have a person, he wants to know, as in Vindal, he wants to know if you have exchange program at UL, because you're also interested in hospitality program.
hospitality.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So we have in our business school, we have a Master of International Tourism. So tourism and hospitality. So there's a 1-year master's in that. We do have exchange programs. So we have a huge exchange and what we call the Erasmus program, the largest Erasmus program in Ireland. And that is basically a semester exchange with another European or international university. It's more difficult to do that in a master's because it's such a short program. So we do have some exchanges in masters, but what we normally do instead is we will do what we call kind of a field trip or a kind of a practical placement. So we're in some of our business programs, the class or a group of students will actually visit a company or visit a country or work with a number of companies in a specific area on a kind of a week or 2 week or a 3 week workshop, and they will basically do a dissertation or a paper based on that. So because it's a short 1-year master's, it's a little bit more difficult to organize exchange, but all of our bachelor degree programs would have a compulsory our business and humanities bachelors have a compulsory exchange, and then our science and education have an optional exchange semester where you would do that. So I did 6 months in New York during my bachelor's degree in UL, studied in NYU for 6 months.
Wow. So Liam, do you think our tourism job is easy to find in Ireland? Do you know some employment rate for this job?
If I was speaking to you 6 months ago, 12 months ago, we as a country, the population is about 4 million people, so very small population. We receive about 10 million tourists per year. So previously to COVID, it would have been, yes, absolutely. There's fantastic opportunities.
Yeah.
people don't want to fly now, and they have to quarantine if they arrive. So in the short term, hospitality is definitely one of the sectors that is going to be affected, and will be more difficult to find jobs in, for sure. I mean, that's just kind of universally acknowledged. However, in the long term, once a vaccine or once COVID is eradicated, we do expect hospitality and tourism to return back. So it can be a good time if you're interested in hospitality and tourism. It can actually be a good time to study while there's kind of this big drop in activity. So you upskill, you build your profile and build your skills, because it's very hard to find a job. It can actually be a good time to study so that you're prepared for when things pick back up. So it can be actually a useful use of your own time to kind of develop your hospitality skills right now, because it's very hard to find jobs, so that you're prepared for when the jobs do resume.
Oh.
But the statistics previously would have been close to 100% of graduates would have been working pretty much during their programs or directly afterwards.
Yeah.
Another program for business. Are there any internship during the studies time in US?
Yeah, so for our bachelor's degrees, every single student does an 8-month paid internship. So everyone does that, what we call cooperative education. It's the largest internship program in Europe. So year 3, we basically swap out a semester and students will work during that time. It's organized by the university. It forms part of their academic grades, so they're graded on the internship as well. So it's kind of a formal accredited part of the degree program. For master's programs, there is most of our business programs will have some sort of internship or company placement, or one of the things we do is what we call company facing projects. So where you will take a real world problem or a real world scenario from a company, you'll apply the theory and the practical kind of knowledge that you've learned from your program, and you'll apply it to their problem. You'll kind of work as it's not really an internship, you're kind of working as a consultant with that company. So a number of our business analytics students, for example, are taking kind of large data sets from companies, analyzing them and providing them with feedback on that. So they're not normally paid, they're quite short, but it does give you, it builds your professional network. It gives you kind of access into different companies and allows you to kind of start the job searching piece. Our applied linguistics program has an internship built into that, and they do. I know we had some kind of work experience as part of most of our master's programs. Not every single one has the opportunity, but the vast majority, probably 90%, have some sort of a company-facing aspect to their teaching.
Liam, do you want to share more any information? If not, I think we can finish the session today because you have provided us more information.
Yeah, no, I think I'm okay. I'm happy to leave it at that. As I mentioned, I'm the regional manager for Southeast Asia. So I'm student support for any students coming from Vietnam. So I think if you are interested, you can apply through Unilink, and then I will obviously kind of provide assistance from the university side. Our applications are still open until the end of June. End of July. Apologies. And then the visa process and things like that is quite quick. They're now being processed in Vietnam, so we're expecting that to be a much quicker process than previous years. But yeah, if you have an interest, or if you have a specific question or anything like that, just get in touch and I can help out as best I can.
Yeah, thank you, and I think every student in UL.
Yes, it's Unilink from here. Yeah, thank you, Minh Quang and Liam, for the very interesting talking today. We will send the PowerPoint slide to every single participant, and together with the information Duolingo test. So if you have a plan to study overseas, especially for this year, I think you can quickly apply and do hope that fast track to succeed. And once again, Liam ơi, I need to see your face again.
I'm looking forward to getting back to Vietnam. So hopefully early next year we'll back.
Yes,
can visit.
Take care, Liam. Remember wearing your mask when you go outside.
Absolutely. Take care and stay safe, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cảm ơn mọi người đã theo dõi. Chào các bạn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liam.
Have a good day.
Right.
Hey, great day.